Who wants to get nuts? Oh, buddy, it's getting nuts, isn't it? What's happening, everybody? Welcome to Film Junkee Live. It's Wednesday. It's hump day. Sorry I was a little late. Time got away from me, and then I was working out some things and whatever the hell, so I pushed it 15 minutes. Apologize. You know, it happens. It happens. Try to be, at least I didn't, hey, what's up, Taladia Plays? Hit that like, thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. Do all the things. Follow the member. If you want to become a member, we do a members. We're going to do a members only stream after this. Get pick my brain a little bit, a little more intimate. It gets a little more intimate, when it comes to the Ark. I almost said the Arkham because I'm seeing Arkham's name right there. When it comes to the members only stream. All right, who do we got here? Who do we got? Cloned Avenger, what's happening? Definitely okay with the new Batman actor. I wonder how much longer we'll have to wait. Probably next year, probably another year. It'd be awesome if we get a small cameo Man of Tomorrow. Or Clayface. That'd be cool too. Gilmer, what's happening? Joseph Kaczynski's Miami Vice has a release date. Hope he reteams with Glenn Powell and Damson Idris. Is it obvious? Interesting, sure. But so were Farrell and Fox. Oh yeah. Don't sleep on that Michael Mann Miami Vice. I really enjoyed that. I really enjoyed that movie. It was good, but this one's going to be, more inspired by the show. I get it. Anyways, we got Ryan right here. What's happening? John Stewart, yeah. It's good to see you. We got Monique. Happy Wednesday to you. Leftover chuck steak and buttered peas. The peas, not so much. But, again, don't sleep on chuck steak versus seed. I'm eating week-old bread pudding. Yikes. Careful with that. Week-old. Leftover ground turkey salad bowl. Nice. Oh, I had sardines. Yeah, that's what I had. Yeah, I don't mind sardines every now and again, and that's why I said, you know what, I'm gonna get some sardines. It's been a bit, If you haven't tried sardines but you like tuna, try sardines just to see, because it has a similar taste, but it tastes better because if you get them in a little can with olive oil, put a little salt in there, a little hot sauce, actually not that bad. So I had like 2 things of that with the little salad thing that I made, So good times, Good times. What do we got? Also, we got Indiana Jake. What's happening? Let's see, Arkham. I watch Kimmel every morning or afternoon on Disney Plus. Yep. Things are getting freaky out there. What do I keep on saying, guys? Late night is dying. Late night is dying. And I know this Jimmy Kimmel thing, of course. Regardless, I'll give, when I give my two cents on it, is my 2 cents on the whole thing is, I think, like I said, late night is dying, and Colbert was probably I would say him and Fallon, maybe it's Fallon and then Colbert, I don't know where Kimmel sat lower when it came to, viewers, again, it's all just dying. Ever since Conan left, it's dying. And I wonder if this was some kind of an excuse to be like, all right, get him out of there. And then, of course, it's all, it's a political thing too, obviously. Again, I think, when it comes to this whole thing, I've always said, this is why I hate the whole right-wing, left-wing thing, because you're referring to a bird, right? Or a bat. What's controlling the wings? The brain in the middle. I think that's the same way when it comes to when it comes to both groups. There's probably a brain that's really like controlling both things. And this whole thing is just, and they're just like, you know what? Time to get him out. This is a good excuse to get him out. I don't know. I didn't really watch Kimmel that much. I watched him on The Man Show and on Win Ben Stein's Money back in the day when he was on Comedy Central, but I never really watched Jimmy Kimmel Live, So, he did good with the Oscars. I'll give him that. So, but I don't watch those late night shows. But everybody's just going to go and get a podcast. That's what Conan did. Conan went and got a podcast. He just started a podcast. Haven't watched a late night since Conan. See, there you go. Craig Ferguson. And see, another thing about those two, why people love Conan and Craig Ferguson so much and previous late night hosts? You didn't know what their politics were. They were just being funny. And that's the thing. And I think a lot of people got sick of the fact that it was like every late night show host it was obvious what the politics were. So yeah, it's just like one of those things. I agree, but that whole thing was messy, man. That whole thing pissed me off. I think that was when that's when I stopped watching. That's when I stopped watching late night, was because of what happened to Conan when he was given the Tonight Show, and then he got to take it away from him. But he landed on his feet, and good on him. What's going on, Glory 8? Free Smallville ad here. Watch the show if you have. The lore gets better the more you watch it. Okay, I'll eventually get to it. I don't know. And yeah, personally, hard-boiled Mr. Erickson right here. Personally, I've never found Kimmel particularly funny. Plus, he was booted because he was claiming something already disproven by, there's that whole thing. I mean, again, there's all these details and whatnot. I mean, we don't need to get too much into it. Mr. Balga. So if the Batman is officially under the Elseworlds banner, what other stories would you like DC Studios to greenlight as an Elseworlds movie or show? That is a good question. I mean, immediately you just think Batman, right? But I mean, like, I just wonder how much they're gonna do, like, when it comes to Elseworlds. So let's see who else we got. So again, let's see, Taladia plays 56 months of canon. Yes, that's right. There we go. That's good. We got 18 months when it comes to Taladia plays too. But yes, thank you, Eric, for also doing that. So. We got Lane right here. Hashtag Kimmel kept fucking. That's quite a hashtag right there. It's quite a hashtag. Jacob, you excited for the new Taylor Swift album? I know you are, Dave. You're not supposed to say anything. You're not supposed to say anything, okay? You're not supposed to do that. You're not supposed to say, you're not supposed to, out me like that as a Swiftie. Got Clark right here, pardon my temper and my language, but I think it's so unnecessary to recast Batman. Unfucking believable. And then it's not recasting. It's casting for a different universe. That's the thing. It's that. So, I don't know. We'll see what happens. All right, what's going on? We got Skate and Geek Out. But anyways, yeah. But yeah, pretty interesting stuff. Hey, I'll host a late night show, huh? As long as I could drink wine or vodka or bourbon while I do it, right? So Carson used to, I don't know if I think he drinks sometimes. I don't know, probably not. But I know it's known that he would have a couple of pops like before and after, That's what you should do. Just bring back that kind of late night vibe. But, we'll see what happens. Like I said, it's just, I've been saying it. Late night is getting, and it's weird things that are happening, the way that they're happening. It's all pretty crazy. But let's not talk about that. Let's talk about some things. We're going to be talking about, there's very little DC news. Thank God there's this video that came out of Matt Reeves talking about the Batman and talking about his approach when it comes to, this version of Batman, kind of talking about the villains and stuff like that. So we have that clip, which is good. And then there's a Supergirl synopsis, nothing to freak out about. There's a couple of Peacemaker, the next episode, we got a couple Peacemaker stills. That's pretty much it. Not a lot of DCU news out there, but hey, yeah, we could do it. And like I said, not a bunch of news at all. So I've been saving this one right here. Superman Flyby. Do you remember Superman Flyby, the J.J. Abrams movie? Well, a week and a half or 2 weeks ago, there was, a full-on story outline, and some concept art came out. Concept art I have never seen. I mean, we've heard bits and pieces of the story, so I just kind of wanted to talk about it, and I kind of saved it for a time where maybe there wasn't anything really too much to talk about. So, yeah, that's that J.J. Abrams one, and I saw it on my feed, and I was like, bookmark. I'll save that for a rainy day, and it almost is a rainy day because it's really cloudy outside, humid again here in SoCal. And then of course we'll talk about what's coming out in the box office. Him is the big movie. That's the movie I'm seeing tomorrow. Looking forward to it. So we'll go over those reviews, and then it's becoming just the normal thing is, hey, we're gonna watch a trailer, and that's the Anaconda trailer, the one with Paul Rudd and Jack Black that we heard about. That's coming out in December, I believe. I'm curious about it because I love both of those gentlemen. It's gonna be interesting. I haven't watched the trailer, so I'm gonna live react with you guys. All right, let's get that at tweets. Don't have too many tweets. which is good. And the first tweet we're going to talk about, because we lost a legend yesterday, guys. We definitely did, and I'm going to raise my glass to him because it is Wine Wednesday. R.I.P. Mr. Robert Redford. That's right. Cheers. 89 years old, lived a full life. One of the best-looking freaking movie stars out there. Am I right? That was a good-looking man. All the way to the end. Just a good-looking man. But yes, he died. Obviously, he's been in so many freaking movies, and they list someone right there. Butch Cassidy and Sundance Kid. That's just one of those movies that it's so enjoyable. It's an enjoyable, like, I don't know, there's something about that movie. But yeah, so he was just always good. He was always good in every movie that he did, and he directed movies too. He's also a director, so. But he lived a full life. He definitely lived a full life, so rest in peace, that icon. Yeah, so 89. It's a pretty full life right there. I don't know if they actually disclosed if he died from something or it was just natural causes, as they always say. So could be that. Morgan Freeman, everybody, all actors were giving their condolences and talking about him, because it seemed like everybody worked with Robert Redford at some point. So guess what? People in Times Square. Guess what you'll be able to go to? You'll be able to go to Central Perk. That's right. And for those that don't know what Central Perk is, that is the infamous coffee shop from Friends, and they actually have built one, but they modernized it. Go. Here we go right here. So here's a modernized Central Perk that's going to be in Times Square that you can go to, and it's ugly as fuck. Oh, I mean, it's not. I mean, they tried to keep some of the vibe of the actual Central Perk, right? But I don't know. The outside looks too modern. Why do they have to make that sign Central Perk Coffee Co? Why couldn't they actually use the actual sign? They have the actual sign, the logo, on the two doors, above the two doors. So why not have that? And then, of course, they have like a spot where, they have the couch, but it doesn't quite look like it. And they're trying, I guess. How much you want to bet that coffee is fucking expensive? Because this small black coffee probably costs about $12 for all we know. So, good Lord. What's going on, Lena? Your mom had a crush? Yeah, I think all our moms had a crush on Robert Redford. He was a freaking guy, was a good-looking man. I'm not afraid to see that guy, to say that guy was a good-looking man. All right. Well, I forgot about that. Okay. Gone. I just remembered something. See, right on my notes here, because it's probably part of the DC topics. So, anyways, okay. Star Wars Starfighter. I'll still not like that title. I don't know. Too much star in that title, but that is currently being filmed right now, of course, starring Ryan Gosling and Flynn Gray, and we got a new behind the scenes from that, and they're on the water. And God knows what they're doing on the water, but that's pretty interesting. They're doing something. I like how rugged everything's looking. Things aren't looking shiny, at least from what we've seen. We've only seen really 2 images, but of course this is directed by Sean Levy, and it's got quite the cast that's going to be supporting Ryan Gosling. So there you go, just another shot of him. Ryan Gosling just doing his pose. It's Ryan Gosling. No matter how Ryan Gosling, if he leans on something, if he's standing there, it's always a pose. That guy's just a pose. He's not a poser. He's just a pose. I don't know where I'm going with this, but you get what I'm saying, right? Just something about Ryan Gosling where, yeah, he could just be standing there still, and no matter what, he's in a pose because he's, that good looking. I swear, we're gonna call it this Film Junkie Live. I keep on, I'm talking about, I'm having man crushes when it comes to this Film Junkie Live. It happens. Hey, it happens. All right. Zach Kreger's Resident Evil, which I'm very curious about. I think a lot of us are. It's going to be starting to film soon. It's coming out next year on September 18th. But they added somebody else, and it seems like everyone wants to work with this guy. It seems like he just pops up in so many movies. He was in 2 summer blockbuster movies this year. Now, mind you, it's not big roles, but it just seems like people want to work with this guy, and probably because he's super nice, easy to work with. I don't know. Paul Walter Hauser has been cast in Zach Cregger's Resident Evil alongside Austin Abrams. And he does seem like a nice guy. I've seen him on podcasts. I've seen him on, press junkets. I love the fact that he was not supposed to tell anyone who he was playing in Fantastic Four, and he said that he told so many people. That's right. Apparently, Kevin Feige didn't, keep the sniper rifle on Paul Walter Hauser because he's too likable. That's what it is. He's too likable. So, what's going on, Dell? Good to see you. The crazy part is fans will frequent the heck out. They will. You're absolutely correct. I would go in there. I don't know if I'd order a coffee. Again, God knows how much the coffee is, but I'm a black coffee guy. So I get the cheap coffee, and I'm not going in there ordering a double caramel cinnamon pumpkin spice latte or something like that. Not doing that shit. Pumpkin spice. Ugh. God damn it. When the fall comes, pumpkin spice. I'm seeing the pumpkin spice everywhere. Cereals, all this stuff. I'm like, you guys are crazy. You guys are crazy. The pumpkin spice. Cliff Booth, man. Cliff Booth. We got another shot behind the scenes of Cliff Booth. Of course, it is a sequel. More of a spin-off or whatever the hell. Following the more adventures of Cliff Booth. And we got Brad Pitt right here with another actor. And what's interesting is, let me show you the image first. So there is Brad Pitt walking on the beach with Scott Conn. That's right, Scott Conn. But what's interesting, according to this, he's possibly playing his father, James Conn. What? That's awesome. Because we know that Tarantino, even though he's not directing this movie, he did write it. And in the first movie, he shows this too. So does Inglourious Basterds. But Tarantino likes to just alter reality into his world. That's what he did with Inglourious Basterds. Obviously, them going after Hitler and the way that all panned out at the end. And then, of course, what happened at the end of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. These are real things, but he Tarantino'd them. So, obviously we had Bruce Lee in Once Upon a Time, which was controversial and stuff. But now I'm just kind of going, that's actually pretty perfect because Scott Conn looks like his dad. He looks like him. So that would be actually pretty amazing if he's actually portraying his father who has passed. So that's pretty cool. And then, yes, we talked about it already, but Joseph Kosinski's Miami Vice remake will release on August 6th of 2027. Mama Film Junkie's birthday. I'm going to go take her. I'm like, Mom, on your birthday, I'm going to take you to see Miami Vice. I know she's been waiting for this for so long. The remake will explore the glamour and corruption of mid-'80s Miami and is inspired by the pilot and first season of the TV series. Well, yeah, I would imagine it's inspired by, But I think it's going to be, I think they're going to take a pretty serious approach on it. You could easily just not take a serious approach on that and just make fun of it, do like a parody version like what they did with Starsky and Hutch, which, that worked. I actually enjoy the Starsky and Hutch movie with Ben Stiller and Owen Wilson. I actually do enjoy that movie. I did. But don't sleep on that Michael Mann movie. That Michael Mann movie is really goddamn good. If you like Michael Mann movies and maybe you didn't get around to Miami Vice, do yourself a favor, watch that movie. When it comes to Michael Mann movies, it actually might be right under Heat. But then you got Collateral in there. He's just those three right there. You got Heat, Collateral, and Miami Vice. Ooh, that's just good. That's just good Michael Mann eating right there. But that should be interesting. And I love the fact that it's actually going to be taking place in the 80s. Yeah, don't modernize it. That's what Michael Mann did with that one. He modernized it. It was present day Miami Vice. Now, don't do that this time. Make it in the 80s. Smart. It's smart. And that's it, guys. That's all when it comes to thigh tweets. Okay. You don't know what you don't know what heat is? So I'm about to kick you out here, Game City Savior. You don't know what Heat is? That's a classic movie. That's a classic movie. Michael Mann, Heat. Al Pacino, Robert De Niro, Val Kilmer. What are we doing here? The shootout at the end? Come on. I was about to say. I think you're just having with us. You know what Heat is. You know what Heat is. Anyways, all right, guys. All right, let's do time for those DCU news updates. I don't know why I went for that kind of song, but I did. Oh yeah, Heat 2 is really happening. Well, technically it's a prequel and a sequel. I don't know exactly how they're pulling it off. The last I heard, there was actually... They were looking at Leonardo DiCaprio to be starring in it. Austin Butler has been rumored to star in it, and everybody's assuming that if Austin Butler is actually going to be in that movie, he is playing the young version of Val Kilmer's character. Nobody knows if Leo DiCaprio is in it. Most likely he's not playing like a version of the character that was from before. So I don't know who those actors, because there might be a De Niro younger version and a Pacino younger version, because apparently the book is a prequel and a sequel. So you kind of you have the first Heat story, and then so you're going to see a little bit of the aftermath, I guess, with Pacino's character, and then they're going to be doing and then it just goes back to prior to what happened in the movie Heat. So we'll see what happens when it comes to that. Yeah, it should be a one and done, but hey, Michael Mann wants to do it. He wrote the book, so why not? Jimmy Guns! Wait a minute. This is not right, Jimmy Guns, because when it comes to casting for Superman or the DCU as a whole, people keep on telling me that you are using Twitter to cast for roles. A lot of people say that. A lot of people express that. And then it's kind of funny because, you could find these tweets where people guessed. I mean, there is somebody who actually said this would be the perfect Superman and Lois, and it was David Cornsweet and Rachel Brosnahan. And that was before they got announced, which is pretty amazing. So then, of course, people just go, see, they're just casting it off Twitter. It's like, shut up. But here we have Jimmy Guns, doing that Criterion Collection thing, the whole thing, or like a version of it. I don't think this is actually that. It's a different thing. It's called Video Club, I think. It looks like similar to the Criterion Collection when you have actors going and they start looking at the Criterion Collection. This is kind of like that, but it's not exactly like that. It's Video Club. And here's what he had to say when it came to casting David Cornsweet.
I actually was watching this movie, which is great. It's a great movie. And I was watching it, and I saw a character whose name I think is just the projectionist in the movie. And I'm like, that guy looks like he could possibly be Superman. I looked up his name on IMDb and said, can you bring this guy in? And so they brought David in.
So David Cornsweet, thank the person who cast you in Pearl for your Superman gig. It's awesome. Yeah, because you hear that all the time when directors are like, oh yeah, I was watching this. And then, and then all of a sudden it was like, I'm like, then they get cast. And it's pretty cool. It's pretty sweet. I have to still watch that trilogy. I have not watched the Pearl trilogy. I just haven't gotten into it. I know it's like people rave about those movies. People didn't really like the last one though, right? The Triple X, or I don't know, what's the last one? I don't even know which one is. I don't know. It's X and then Pearl and then I don't even know how it runs. Like I said, I have to watch those movies. Eventually, I'm going to watch those movies. And Jimmy Guns also tweeted this out right here. You got a chance to win something pretty cool. Enter a chance to win a framed piece of concept art signed by yours truly. Learn how to check out new Superman merch. So you can actually do all that. Plus a chance to win you can also win a $300 e-gift card for the DC shop. So you can get a bunch of DC merch. So that's a pretty cool little concept right there. Of course, with Superman looking over the Fortress of Solitude, which the Fortress of Solitude, man, they did a good job. That concept art is pretty much what we see in the movie right there. Cool. Uh-oh. Is that my stalker troller guy? Harold? You're going by Harold now? Good Lord. Spammer. We got the spammer, guys. We got the spammer. Thank you, Del. Appreciate you. Okay, we'll get to that in a minute. All right, let's go to when it comes to DCU news, I'm always like going to the DC film page. Okay, so what do we got here? So we got all that. Who's going to be watching Superman this weekend? Well, if you have HBO Max, you're going to be able to watch Superman for sure, because Superman is now going to be on streaming, and that's what's going to be interesting, because we're going to get those Samba TV numbers, which is, how much is it going to be? Like, what are we going to see when it comes to Samba TV? Because with PVOD, Superman did better in 6 days than Deadpool and Wolverine. Again, I know we don't like to compare and do all that, but again, you know how it is. The discourse out there and everybody's saying it's a flop. Nobody wants to watch this shit. People are watching it. So it's going to be interesting to get those streaming numbers when it comes to HBO Max. I don't expect them to be like, super stellar, but hopefully they're like pretty good. So yeah, and it's what's really cool about it too is the fact that let's see, where is that? Damn it. I think it was James Gunn. He also tweeted that out, and it was, let's see, where's that? Right there. So he actually screenshot David Cornsweat's Instagram post, and he said, doing my best Eve Taskmaster impression. So basically just, that's a good way to do it. Again, these guys are nailing the social media aspect of all this stuff. And Cornsweat, of course, that's a little TV. Has had a TV in his hotel room? That's a little TV. Come on, David, you got to get a bigger TV than that. It's a pretty little TV, but at the same time, it's cool. But yeah, so we got Peacemaker tomorrow, and then you can watch Superman on Friday on HBO Max. Pretty cool. It is pretty cool. And let's see, nothing else when it comes to that. All right, let's go back to some of this stuff. All right, and then what's cool too right here is HBO Max, when it comes to the in-app, DC and DC Studios, they're going full force. And they're doing a good job with it because they're keeping the conversation going, keeping hype going, which you need to nowadays. And they are utilizing, of course, HBO Max to do these things right here. HBO Max will launch an in-app Superman takeover feature, a Daily Planet homepage redesign, a Fortress of Solitude fan hub, and hidden portals that transport users to Lex Luthor's pocket prison for an immersive experience. So that's pretty sweet. So you could turn your HBO Max format, your layout, into this like little Superman takeover and have a bunch of interesting things and have a bunch of different characters that you could use that are within Lex Luthor's pocket prison and doing all that. You got Daily Planet headlines with like pictures on that. It's pretty cool. It's pretty sweet. So I'm like, yeah, keeping that immersive experience and everything. Cool. I love it. I'm 4 years away from being 30. 4 years away from being 30, you young buck. Good Lord, I wish I was 4 years away from being 30 there, Arkham Knight. Supergirl synopsis. So this was being passed around, and it's not really much to freak out about. It was just something that was being passed around today because, again, the DCU news was lacking a little bit, which is fine. It's not like there's always going to be a constant flow of news, but there's always seems to be something. And this is actually from Letterboxd, and here's a synopsis that is appearing in there. While celebrating her 21st birthday, Kara Zor-El travels across the galaxy with her dog Crypto, during which she meets the young Ruthie Mary Null and goes on a murderous quest for revenge. A murderous A murderous quest of revenge. Take the whole family, folks. It just sounds funny. It's like, wait, is that supposed to be a family film? She's getting drunk and going on a murder. I know some of those guys, the conservative side, and then the diehard Snyder guys are gonna be like, murderous. She's going on a murderous quest. Yeah, let's bring the family to that. My God, the children. Ugh, good Lord, the children. And then Basically, don't freak out about it because it's essentially this. Variety already kind of posted that little synopsis, as you could see right there. It's the same thing. So it's not like it was a new synopsis. We just didn't really notice it, or we did notice it, and then we just forgot about it. So that's why it's like not really much. Not really much. Like, oh, okay, synopsis. Cool. Still sounds fun. Still sounds fun. I need to say Zack Snyder write it. What are you talking about? Zack Snyder writes movies for kids. That's what I always find funny. The children. It's like, I'm like, Zack doesn't write for children either. You know how that all is. But it's different. He's Zack's not the jokey dick and fart jokes kind of guy. James Gunn is. I get it. But whatever. And speaking of Supergirl, we got Michael Rosenbaum on his podcast. He said something about, because apparently, he is buddy with James Gunn. So apparently he did get to see something when it came to Supergirl, and this is what he had to say. Michael Rosenbaum has seen something from Supergirl and says it looks awesome. I think the new Supergirl is going to be good. I saw something and thought it was awesome. I was like, whoa, that is freaking cool. Whoa, you're friends with Jimmy Guns. Of course you're going to... I mean, yeah, you have to look at it that way. Of course he's not going to say anything bad about it. But at the same time, you can't hold that against him because maybe he actually did think it looked really cool. And I think it's going to be really cool. I mean, some of those behind-the-scenes videos that we saw that somebody fucking did a drone passover, and we saw some of the things that were going on with the wire work and her like on a tank, and Lobo apparently was there. I mean, it's going to be something pretty crazy. That's for sure. It's going to be different. It's going to be different too because it takes place out in the cosmos. It's not going to be really on Earth, so it's good stuff. Oh, are we okay out there? Lena, we good? All right, yeah. I got breast implants last week. Okay. Jesus. All right. Now on to Matt Reeves. Oh, Matty Reeves, keep on talking, baby. We love this. Love this because we're getting, just stop it with the whole merger. Nothing's merging. Robert Pattinson is not going to be in the DCU, and everybody's still holding on to that. For some reason, Jimmy Guns has said it so many times that he's not the DCU Batman. And now we got Matt Reeves. Finally, Matt Reeves, the guy who's actually making the movie, finally saying it to Mr. Horowitz right here.
Figuring out your villain for this one. I know you're not going to tell me who
The
it is.
villain.
Okay, yeah, sure. No, but like, how did you find your way into deciding who in that rogues gallery you're going to center this one on?
Well, it's funny because I had a lot of ideas, and then Mattson Tomlin, who's my writing partner, we began the process of this by doing another deep dive into the comics, exploring the ideas that I had. He gave me some ideas that he had, and we sat together and we watched a lot of movies, honestly, and not all movies that are from the realm of Gotham, just to explore where this story, because I knew that the way the movie ended, it was leaving us on the precipice, and also the way that events sort of happened within the show, that there is an exploration to be had, and one of the explorations for me was to do something that pushes even further into the character of Bruce Wayne, because the first story is so much about the Batman, and so I always wanted in the movies to make sure that, let's say we get to make 3, and I have no idea, but if we get to make 3,
you're making 3.
I always wanted the movies to be focused on his character, to never, a lot of the other films, which I love, when you get
overwhelmed by...
Well, once you get past the origin tale, which we didn't quite do, but we did something that referred to as origins, then you start telling the Rogues Gallery story, and that character's sort of arc. And I never wanted to lose Rob at the center of these stories, and so that is really what we set our aim on, and so picking the right villain that digs into what that does, that sort of goes into his past and his life, that was what drove that sort of discussion, and I won't tell you where we ended up, but we're super excited about it. And I will say, it's never really been done in a movie before, so we're excited, yeah.
Ooh. Oh, keep talking, Matty Reeves. Keep talking, Matty. I love it. You're saying all the right things. Anybody else hard? Yes. So, talking about villains, obviously trying to pick the villains, but what I loved about that is the fact that, sometimes the villain can take over. You know, I mean, I don't think that happened in Batman Begins. Batman Begins was 100% focused, and I think that's what he's talking about. He's mainly talking about that, even though if you go prior to the prior Batman movies, it was mainly all about the villains. And even Tim Burton himself stated that he was more about the villains when it came to his first two movies. He was more about the villains than he was about the character of Batman. Now, Schumacher, when it came to Batman Forever, I think initially he was really trying to tell a Batman story more than the villain story, but it got so rearranged and things got cut out. A lot of things got cut out, released the Schumacher cut, but it still kind of has some of that in there. But mainly when you see those movies, those first four movies, there's a lot of like, it's the villains. You see a lot of just the villains, more than it is Batman. The Dark Knight, which is arguably, you know, one of the best CBMs out there, best Batmans out there, of course, depending on how you feel, whatever. That movie does not get as big as it does without having the Joker. Even though you don't really get a Joker origin, it is the Joker that drives that movie. And then when you get even further, it's, I don't know, Dark Knight Rises can be like, it is a pretty good Bruce Wayne story or something. I don't know. It's just crazy. But I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see what he has in store. And Matt Reeves, say it loud. Say it proud. Say it to the people in the back. Say it to them. Because they can't seem to hear you. Matt Reeves, thank you. And I love you.
And we're working with them on this. I mean, it's a DC, so like, it's Elseworld, but it's DC, so it's theirs as well. So, I mean, it's a DC, so like, it's Elseworld, but it's DC. So
say it again.
It's a DC, so like, it's Elseworld, but it's DC.
Say it again.
It's a DC, so like, it's Elseworld, but it's DC. So it's a
keep
DC,
going.
so like, it's Elseworld, but it's DC. So
one more time.
It's a DC, so like, it's Elseworld, but it's DC. So
can't get enough.
It's a DC, so like, it's Elseworld, but it's DC.
Put it to bed, folks. Jesus Christ. God. I'm just saying. I mean, I think that's what everybody needed. Because, yeah, you could have James Gunn say it up and down, but there's people that think James Gunn is lying through his teeth all the time. So now that we have Matt Reeves finally saying it, I'm just like going, jeez. Ugh. That's what's so crazy, man. Sorry, I just had to make the point. I just had to make the point, guys. Just definitely had to make the point. So we are there. So there you go, guys. That's the DCU news for you. Good to see you, Rhea. See you out there. Rhea, Music Man, Tony. What's up, Tony? Tony. I keep getting ads for Google on and pin him and other stuff in the chat. Really? Okay, I told you guys, or maybe I talked about it on my post show that I posted on Patreon. So if you guys are seeing like ads and different things when it comes to the channel, YouTube changed something. They did a lot of different things. So you actually might be seeing stuff. And I think what they're trying to do, you know, because if you're seeing like ads for movies, they probably know that I'm a movie channel. So they're going to start probably, you might be starting to see that. And if you see them in the chat, it's just stuff, it's out of my hands. I'm not doing it, you know. They're adding more stuff. YouTube went through like a little change where they changed their algorithm, which is kind of crazy because there was like big YouTubers that were seeing their views go down. I even saw some views go down, and it was kind of interesting. I don't know what's going on, but YouTube is trying things or adding things. They're doing things to hopefully make, you know, the content creator, you know, have a better experience, but it's pretty interesting. So, oh, I haven't had that happen on my feed. So, yeah, it's very interesting. So if you're seeing like ads on your something, I don't know, ads might just be placed in random spots, and then if I ever like do a brand thing, there could be something where it could be placed on there too. I don't know, it's pretty interesting, but it depends on where you're watching it too. I know that. Superman Flyby. Oh, that's right, Superman Flyby. Gosh, at the beginning of the century, we were going to get a Superman movie. It was going to be called Superman Flyby, and it was going to be written and directed by J.J. Abrams. And, you know, we've already heard the synopsis. We heard a lot of things. A lot of things didn't sound good. It was kind of interesting because Henry Cavill did, in fact, do a screen test, which you could find those images online, of him doing the screen test when before, of course, he became Superman when it came to Man of Steel. But essentially, it got thrown to the side, and then Superman Returns became a thing, and then Brandon Routh and all the things. So this was being passed around like a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. I thought it was interesting. You know, it was basically the, summarized script. And then when it came to, concept art, which is very interesting. So let's kind of go through this real quick. JJ Superman is basically an origin story with a few twists. It starts out with an awesome battle between Superman and an alien baddie named Ty-Zor from his home planet. They're throwing each other through buildings. What? And that sort of thing. And Superman is basically getting his ass handed to him. What? I thought Superman can't get his ass handed to him. I don't know. People were saying that about the new one. Eventually, we cut back to Krypton and get a detailed look at the Civil War going on there with 100-foot-tall robots shredding up Kryptonians like a top shelf. Chef. We get the familiar scene with Soup's dad putting him in the spaceship, sending him to Earth where he lands at the Kent's farm where he grows up with them and yada, yada, yada. Where the script starts deviating from lore is that it makes Lex Luthor the head of the CIA. Lex is obsessed with UFO phenomenon and is trying to convince his bureau to spend more time and resources on it, convinced that little green men are going to become a threat to Earth at some point and they need to be ready for it. When a young news reporter, Lois Lane, writes an article about Luthor's exploits, he has no choice but to tell the world that the U.S. has actually found a UFO. This freaks Superman, now Clark Kent, out since he figures Luthor may be referring to him, and he doesn't want any part in being exposed. Eventually, Luthor's obsession with UFOs starts to piss off the Bureau, and they fire him. Well, you don't fire Lex Luthor and not expect consequences. Luthor eventually finds and teams up with Ty-Zor, who's come to Earth specifically to kill Superman. Superman may be super, but and everything, but apparently no match to these two and is killed. Yes, Superman dies. Or does he? Eventually, we learn that Superman isn't dead at all and comes back to take down Luthor, who's since been awarded the planet by Ty-Zor. Finally, the truth is revealed that Lex Luthor and the reason he's so obsessed with aliens. Turns out Lex Luthor is an alien. He's from Superman's home planet and has been hiding here, which results in a final, flying city-wide battle between Superman and Lex Luthor. Holy Origin Destroyer Batman. What the hell just happened? What? Yeah. This sounds like Superman we got. Does that sound like the Superman we got? So there's like the basic stuff. There's all this kind of stuff like that. Concept art. So this concept art, they kind of were going for that. I remember if you look at the screen test, you do kind of see that costume because there are images of the actual costume that they were going for, and that kind of looked like it, but there was not the undies. And those fucking undies look ridiculous. Yeah, that doesn't look good right there. It almost looks like Superman is wearing a G-string that he has high up on his hips. What is going on with that shit? Anybody else seeing that? You know how, sometimes, a lovely lady, can pull up her G-string like high up on her hips. It looks like Superman is wearing a fucking G-string and he has it pulled up high on his hips, on his sides. More concept art for the costume right here. So they had like different versions. They were even thinking about using the Kingdom Come Superman logo, the emblem. And all these don't have chones right here. And some of this, like especially right here, looks like what happened when it came to Cavill's costume. That's pretty cool. There's another one right there. Superman is, he's doing that Navy SEAL dive, that Navy SEAL jump where you have to tuck in to not like smash your nuts when you dive into the water. But yeah, so there's a concept right there. So yeah, just something that was floating about and everything. Yeah, I think we definitely dodged the bullet. I mean, this probably would have been worse than Superman Returns. And again, I don't hate Superman Returns. I actually think Superman Returns is fine. It's just, I don't know. It just didn't move the needle, I guess, for a lot of people. And I didn't really like Kate Bosworth as Lois Lane. I just didn't really like her as Lois Lane. I don't know. But there you go. There's your Superman flyby stuff. What's going on, Ben? What is JJ even doing nowadays? Yeah, that's a good question. JJ hasn't done shit in so long. You got that big deal, and I don't know, he hasn't really done anything since. I mean, he's produced stuff. I think he's got stuff in production. I don't know. It's all weird. What? Well, that sucks. Future presentations open this week. Well, I thought, why did I think that there were... Okay, well, we could look at some of these other reviews. But, wow, that's interesting. I don't know if people were actually... I mean, there are people reacting to it online. But yes, the movie that a lot of people were talking about that's coming out this weekend, obviously the movie I'm going to see, so you can see my first reaction when I post it, is him. The football movie produced by Jordan Peele. Man, they really wanted to put his name all over this movie. It's so funny how that is. You know, you make 3 pretty good movies, or you make a name for yourself, and when you produce a movie, they want to put your name all over it. Who cares who the fucking director is? They want to put your name all over it. And they were. They specifically were putting, just like when they put Ryan Coogler all over everything, you know, like when it came to Ironheart, they're like, Ryan Coogler. They always have to do that. But there is no reviews in the Devil Fruit site. But I did see that people were reacting to it like online, and I was seeing some good reactions. I don't know. This movie's going to be absolutely batshit crazy. We also have, apparently, I don't know, I guess this is coming out this week. I don't know. Sometimes it says this is coming out this week. Yep, this comes out too. The Big, Bold, Beautiful Journey, which has 2 beautiful people. That is Margot Robbie and Colin Farrell. That's right. Now that is the 3rd man that I've said is beautiful on the stream. I don't care. I'll own that shit. I don't give a shit. 55 reviews, 45%. So people not really liking, critics not really liking this one too much, apparently. Ironically, for a film that's ultimately more about its character's destination than their journey, it ended up leaving me feeling stranded adrift. Let's go to top critics. Yeah, even the top critics are, The only destination a big, beautiful journey approaches is the end of a unfortunate bore. The film cloyingly asks us to embrace the sincerity of its impersonal romance. Hollywood has found a way to neutralize the talent with a script so leaden and direction so saccharine and that you may never want to see another Robbie or Farrell. No, wow, Jesus. Let's read a good one. The story's encouragement for those who have the courage to take a risk and change old patterns has a quiet optimism that may send some of us to open a few bold and beautiful doors ourselves. Well, that's good. Hopefully we can get inspiration when it comes to that. All right, come on. Go all the way back. There's one more movie, right? That's coming to Apple TV, apparently. I actually do want to see this movie. This movie, I mean, Bold and Beautiful, I wanted to see that too. The Bold, Beautiful Journey, I kind of want to see that too. But then we got this movie right here, Matthew McConaughey, man. I'm driving a bus. That's right, I'm driving a bus. Driving a bus through the fire, you know. Some fire going on, and I'm just trying to get home and drink some wild turkey. It's my McConaughey impression. You're welcome. Okay. Let's look at this right here. The Lost Bus. This is based on a true story, by the way. Demonstrates how powerfully drama can illuminate a story we might have thought we knew. The Lost Bus, despite its best efforts to celebrate an everyday hero, becomes a messy journey of rancid masculinity. Oh, jeez. So it's good then. Sorry. Greengrass, that's right, it's by Paul Greengrass. Greengrass doesn't tell you how to feel. He's practically screaming at you. Let's read some good ones here. When it trusts its performers and its audience, Paul Greengrass's The Lost Bus is an immersive experience, something that should be seen aloud in one sitting instead of broken up on the small screen like so many Apple TV movies. Yeah, see, that sucks. It's not going to be out in theaters, right? There are times when the Fury landscape is staggering and times when it screams CG, but few directors can rev up a movie and keep it at fever pitch the way Greengrass does. So it's going to be interesting. I don't know. I do want to see that one, but I'm going to see him tomorrow because, yeah, why not? Me and my dad. My dad's actually going to be coming down. He wants to see it too. So I'm like, all right, let's do it. So it should be interesting. Hopefully. All right. And finally, Anaconda. I haven't seen this Anaconda movie yet. Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, he did do the Bourne movies. Yeah, so it should be good. All right, we got this new Anaconda movie. I'm a fan of the first Anaconda movie. I watched that movie so many times, and it was great. It was great. You had Eric Stoltz, you had Ice Cube, you had Jennifer Lopez, and you had a very fucking weird Jon Voight with a weird accent, but he played a good villain. He played a good villain that got his at the end. I don't know. I liked that first Anaconda movie, and then I watched Anacondas at the drive-in one time. Total shit. I think there's been some other ones since, but now we're getting a revive of the franchise with a different spin when it comes to Paul Rudd and Jack Black.
And 5, 4, 3, 2. You don't say the last. It's okay. Anaconda. I don't want to wait, man.
Doug, what are you talking about?
Let's do it. Let's reboot Anaconda.
Yes.
Wait.
Meta.
What?
This is going to be the adventure of a lifetime.
We've dreamed of making this movie ever since we were kids.
That's Sandy Newton.
What does it cost to get this thing made?
$2.5 million.
We've approved a
It
loan
is.
for up to
And Steve Zahn. Oh, wow. I had no idea who else was
Yes.
in this movie.
We're gonna shoot it indie style. Run and gun.
We need a riverboat, a script, a snake handler, and a real snake.
Claire, you and I'll star in it.
I love you, Derek.
Kenny, you shoot it.
Oh, Jesus.
Doug, you direct.
Action! Put your face right up next to the snake.
Oh, good Lord.
Maybe it'll be okay.
Cody.
This is Anaconda. And we no longer have a snake for our snake movie.
So let's get a real
We
snake.
have to go out in the
Okay.
jungle and find another one.
What is that?
Oh my.
Of course.
Middle of the jungle, and we are being hunted.
Oh my God. I was wondering why they were using that song. Totally forgot about that line.
I'm here.
Oh, Jesus.
Keep rolling.
He's dead.
Oh no. What are we gonna do? What if we use Doug as bait to get back to the boat?
That's a really smart idea.
Doug would have wanted this. I'm not sure he would have wanted this.
Oh, look at the snake. He's alive.
I think he checked his balls. He did.
Ugh.
He's right behind you. What the hell is all like that? It's a long story. Run.
Jeez. Yeah, I'm in. I'm in. Come on. That looks fucking stupid, but it looks cleverly stupid. Got a little Tropic Thunder vibes in there. I was going like, dun 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 dun. I'm like, why would they be using that? And I totally forgot about that line in that song. My Anaconda don't want none unless you got buns, hun. My God. I was like, of course, that's why they're using it. All right. Christmas Day? Is that what is coming out? Christmas? I'm in. I'm totally in. Jesus, that is ridiculous. That is so ridiculous right there. So absolutely ridiculous. But I'm for it, you know. Like I said, I'll watch anything with Paul Rudd and Jack Black, to be honest. I don't care how dumb it is. I really love those guys. So I'm there. Well, at least that wasn't Nikki. Oh, yeah, at least it wasn't that. Surprise comedy hit of the holidays? It could be. I love this song. Me and my girlfriends used to get super drunk and sing. Hey, do it again. Because if that movie's a hit, everybody's going to be singing that song and getting drunk again. Just invite me. All right. Let's see what we got. We got some Twitter questions right here before we wrap it up. I don't know what I just saw right there. Cooper Knox with James Gunn saying the Peacemaker season finale with strong connections of Man of Tomorrow. I wonder if we'll get an inkling of what the overall DCU story will be in Man of Tomorrow. Yeah, I'm kind of wondering, does something get released there? Does something get released out of that pocket universe, stuff, the pocket dimension? Versus Seed, Matt Reeves said it's Elseworlds, and to not spoil episode 8 of Peacemaker when Batson asked for his help against this image right here. What are we doing? What's going on right there? My Lord, yeah, wouldn't that be funny? Devin Wooter, hey Dave, what did you expect for James Gunn's bat suit? Looks like it's black and gray, or I think he's gonna go with blue. Do you expect people will show up for Supergirl? Yes. And what are your favorite superhero trailer? For me, it's Batman vs. Superman Comic-Con trailer. Yeah, that's up there. That is probably the same thing, too. Yeah, probably the same thing for me, too. It's like that Comic-Con Batman vs. Superman trailer. All the Batman Superman trailers. Maybe not the last one when they revealed that, Doomsday. Hey Dave, I was thinking it's definitely just from Joshua G. I was thinking it's definitely the Court of Owls for the Batman 2, which I really hope it is. Some people think it's going to be Mr. Thomas Elliot, Hush, but I think the Court of Owls it could be both. I wouldn't be surprised if it's both. Court of Owls, Thomas Elliot. They already hinted at Hush in the first one, and the general audience isn't ready for them. Also, I think they are better suited for Matt Reeves' Batman films than the DCU Batman. 100%. I think that. Yeah, I totally think that. So. And then we got Mr. Eric Blake. I mean, Reeves' comments on his Batman films centering on Bruce, and I think underlines the potential of the Court of Owls. Yes, lest we forget, the storyline challenges Bruce to question everything he thought he knew about his city and his own parents. A lot of potential here. Yeah. I'm with this. I think we're going to get a Court of Owls movie. I think there's going to be some Court of Owls, but it's not going to be. That's not going to be it. There's also going to be, could be one or two other villains. Could be Hush. Could be somebody else. Could be, I don't know who else could be. There could be a Dick Grayson. I don't know. It's gonna be interesting to see where this goes. Gonna be interesting where it goes, because I think when I was hearing that, I was like going, yeah, Hush could be very much involved, but I was even thinking that too. I'm like, what villain could be challenging, and if you're going to centralize him, yeah, it just seems like it's too perfect for that world. Court of Owls is just too perfect for Matt Reeves' world, 100%. So, anyways, all right, guys. There we go. That is the show. Members, look forward to your link. I'll post it. We'll talk a little bit more for members only. Another feature that's actually coming to YouTube, which is actually I'm looking forward to. I'll be able to, as I'm live streaming, end this live stream and turn it into a members only stream in an instant, apparently. So I won't have to drop you a link and do a whole other thing. I'll be able to just convert it right into a members only stream. Apparently that's a new thing that's going to be coming out, I think, next year or something like that. So that was one of the features that I was like, cool. So when I do that, just easily transition right into to a members only stream. Anyways, hit that like, thumbs up, guys. Look forward to my first reaction of him, and of course all the other videos that I'll be posting as well. See you guys, everybody else, on the Vodka stream on Friday. Should be another fun time. And yeah, guys, members, I'll see you in a bit. And of course, DC Fanimated is happening tonight with another Batman Beyond episode, so check that out. All right, love ya. Talk to you.